I am absolutely loving this period of self-isolation. You'll probably think I'm bonkers for saying it, but today I'm going to show you how I've turned this period of isolation into an incredible period of household productivity. Welcome back to the urban farmyard. Most of us around the world are now on self-isolation, and that can be a pretty lonely and frustrating time for a lot of people, but I can honestly say I am absolutely loving this period. Now I have to say I have had a little bit of a test run on this. For the last 2 years I've been largely housebound anyway because I've been signed off work with chronic depression. Now that's not going to make a lot of sense to you because I probably look very chirpy and happy when I film. The reality is I only film on days when I can cope with the filming process. My 2-year test run in self-isolation has been incredibly useful. It has shown me how to structure my day and taught me how to not go stir crazy, largely isolated from the rest of the world. The thing that's really made a difference for me during the lockdown is having a focused project every single day, and for me that has been completely decluttering, tidying, reorganizing and cleaning this house. Now that's been really important for me because 2 years of depression has led to a lot of chaos in this house. Firstly, I've got a lot of animals, but secondly, I haven't really had the strength of mind to be able to cope with general household chores, and so things have descended into chaos. So I'm loving having this period of time to focus on getting the house back in order. It's been incredibly therapeutic. Now I have already done the kitchen, so unfortunately I can't show you the process there, but what I did do while I was decluttering the kitchen is I posted a lot of photos on my personal Facebook page and found that it was giving a lot of friends inspiration in how to fill their days while they're on lockdown. So I thought, right, it might be time to start filming this process to give you a focus each day and stop you from feeling quite so isolated. So this is video 1. Today we are going to start work in the bedroom, so the master bedroom in this house, and what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the wardrobe. We're not going to do the entire wardrobe in one sitting, we are just going to do the items that are hanging or should be hanging. So let's go and get started. Right, to kick this video off, I'm going to show you what we're dealing with. Now beware, this is chaotic. This is what happens when you've been signed off work for 2 years. We have some chaotic cats. We have piles of things just lurking here. One of the things I haven't really been very good at is putting washing away when it comes out of the washing machine. In here we have, we're going to have to move some boxes to get into here. In here we have the wardrobe. Now this side is not looking too bad. I actually tackled this a little while ago and then got bored and stopped tackling it, so the rest of it is not looking that good. And over here on the other side, well, it's more chaos. Yep. Stuff just scattered everywhere. So I'm really looking forward to getting in and getting this sorted today. So we are going to put the camera down and we're going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of the wardrobe. I'm going to grab all the hanging items from the wardrobe, and I'm also going to grab any items that are on the floor that should be hanging in the wardrobe. And then I'm going to go through and figure out what is going to stay and what's going to go. Now, when deciding what's going to stay and what's going to go, I'm going to use the KonMari method. Now, with the KonMari method, what Marie Kondo recommends you do is you choose to keep only those items which spark joy. Now, I have pared back my wardrobe numerous times. In reality, it just keeps expanding again, so I definitely do need to cull some things in here. So we are going to go through the process of figuring out what sparks joy. Let's go do it. Now while I've been doing this, I've realised that there's actually some more clothes in this house. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pop into the guest bedroom and grab all the hanging clothes that belong to me, which are in that bedroom. So I've got everything together, just as Marie Kondo says. She always says, collect everything of one particular type of item, i.e. clothes, together into one space so that you can see everything you've got and truly rationalize what you're keeping. So let's go and grab the things from the spare room. Now I've got to say, looking at this, I am pretty bloody horrified by just how much stuff I've got. Honestly, for the last few years, I thought I was being really good at really not shopping and decluttering things that I didn't wear or need or use, or wow, this is a mountain of clothes. Right, so now that we've identified just how big this mountain of clothes is, it's time to start sorting them. I am going to go through and break this down into categories. I'm going to put all of the tops together, all of the dresses together, all of the skirts, the jeans, the trousers, the formal dresses, the coats. I'm going to sort it all into categories. So let's go do that now. So that process didn't actually take that long, and what it has done is it's actually surprised me how many items I actually have in each category. So I can actually see where some of the problem has started in terms of this being such a disorganized space. I've probably got 12 or 15 coats of some sort, so I don't need 12 to 15 coats. I think I have a bit of a thing for coats though. I really do love them. I've also got way more going out dresses than what I need. So quite formal frocks that were from when I lived in the city, which I'm just not using here at the farm. So this is going to be part of the challenge. I've had a fundamental change in lifestyle in the last 2 years by moving from the city out to the country, and I don't know if I'm ready to let go of my city clothes just yet, even though they're really not being used here at the sanctuary. So this is going to be a bit challenging. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each category. I'm going to go through every item of clothing and decide what stays and what goes. Now, when you're doing this, Marie Kondo makes quite a distinction. She doesn't decide what you're getting rid of, she decides what you're keeping. And you're meant to only keep those things that you truly love. So I've done this process before. You wouldn't know it given the amount of junk that's now sitting on my bed, but I have done this process before and found that deciding what stays does actually make a lot of sense to me, and I actually found it made the process easier rather than deciding what goes. And I actually found that I keep a lot less by choosing what stays. So let's get into it. So I've got to say, I am finding this more difficult than I remember it being in previous sorts. It seems that today everything is sparking joy. I'm finding it very, very difficult to figure out what I want to get rid of. One thing which I have found interesting is the clothes that do still absolutely spark joy are actually the more expensive investment pieces that I've bought throughout the years. I'm finding it quite simple to discard, throw away fast fashion. But look, there are pieces in here which I honestly bought 20 years ago and they are still in beautiful condition and I still absolutely love them. So I think for me that's been a little bit of a lesson. clearly buying less pieces but buying better quality, I think, has probably been a great strategy. These pieces really have stood the test of time. Where that poses a problem though is 20 years ago I was smaller than I am now. I think I've gone from a size 8 to about a size 10. That's not a massive jump, but for some of these pieces I just don't know that they really fit anymore, but I still absolutely love them. So I'm actually finding it very difficult to say it's time for you guys to leave. Yeah, so I don't know, it depends on which decluttering method you're using. Some say get rid of anything you haven't worn in the last 6 months. Some say get rid of anything that doesn't fit you, anything that's worn or torn or broken. And then Marie Kondo says, but if it sparks joy, then you get to keep it. So I don't know, it's tricky. I think I'm going to keep these pieces in the interim, bring them forward in the wardrobe, and we'll see if I start wearing them. I don't know. Who knows? Now, as I've been sorting each category, I have been putting these things back into the wardrobe. Now, I've been doing that because I've got limited sorting space. Everything had to be dumped on the bed because it's the cleanest place to sort from, but there is a finite amount of space, so I found it easier to go through and grab the things that I was keeping and put those back in the wardrobe as I went along. And I literally just threw the things that I'm not keeping out the bedroom door, so I need to go and sort that out separately. But let me show you how I have gone through and organized the things that I'm keeping. Now, be warned, I don't feel like I've gotten rid of enough, so what I might need to do in the next couple of days is go through and be a little bit more ruthless, but I have genuinely kept the things that spark joy. The other thing to bear in mind is I have put absolutely all clothes back in this wardrobe. I've decided not to split it between this room and the guest bedroom, and you have all seasons in here, from the hottest of summer days to the coldest of winter days, so there is a lot in here. And you'll also see we've still got the clutter on the shelves and down the bottom because we're going to do that another day. So let's go and take a look. So what I've tried to do as much as possible is group like things together. So up the top we have tops. Down the bottom we have, lo and behold, bottoms, and over here we have coats and dresses that needed a little bit more height. So what I've done in each category is I've tried to sort by colour as much as possible. So I've gone from whites through to creams to greys and then through to blues and reds and blacks, and I've tried to do that as much as possible in each category. It's probably going to be more obvious over here in our jacket department. Yes, I have kept an enormous number of jackets. Given I live in quite a warm part of the world, I really don't need this number, but I love them. I just can't part with them, so they're all staying for the time being. So that's today. Hopefully sorting out this little area of your house has given you a little bit of inspiration and just a feeling of satisfaction. I find it's really, really good to have something to focus on and get done. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and I will see you back here tomorrow.